Okay, good afternoon, everybody. I just want to have a quick, brief meeting with you all here. It's not going to take very long because I know that you all had a very overwhelming day at Kindlick because they were being extra demanding to you. Now, I was just coming back from the headquarters of the Invention because I was recording. I was recording, but I was with Zach and he was recording. Reading the last 3 chapters of Great Gatsby. So if you listen to his version of the audiobook and the original version, then the two men sounded almost exactly the same. There was barely any difference at all. You could play both at the same time, and it's like, did Zach already make it before, me going into the first chapter and, having him record it? Well, people are just so similar, and if I could find out who that person is that made that original audiobook recording, I would have him come here. He would be at his home, he would get the letter, there would be a button, if you click it, then, he's persuaded into coming, he gets his things and those directions. As a car turns it facing opposite the house, and then there's this little portal thing, that they go through, and they just go right on through, and then, they'll, suddenly on the highway near town, and then directions from there on. They get here, so that's how it works. And I know what you're all thinking. It sounds like I'm making it up. It sounds, just not realistic, but that's the truth of it. So, the person who read that original audiobook recording is the person who, and it's really the reason and the motivation that I had for bringing Zach here in the first place. Now, I was talking to him a couple nights ago about molding into somebody. When I say mold, I don't mean change into someone else. I don't mean transform. I mean another version of yourself, a more, refined, but yet that, that casual, very robust, sounding, person that originally read the audio book recording. So that's really what I was looking for. The whole Leland Powell deal with playing in a little kids' space superhero film. No, absolutely not. So that's really, the bull over the head. Now, reminder that all of those chapters are due Thursday at 10 o'clock in the morning. So listen to them, get them read, also fill out the optional things, the study guide and the character analysis. So now here's the thing. I think that you're going to get more out of it. I think that you're going to gain more from it if you read it out, if you listen to it being read to you. Because it does sound ironic, it doesn't sound like what I've been saying all this time, but based off of the amount of time that we have, and based off of how hard this is to get into, and I really want you to focus on, what you want to do, taking a break from that and not losing the motivation in that by investing so much, that drive, that fire gets burnt out. And then the next time we do it, then you just, feel, a little bit lazy. And if you're feeling lazy, if you're not feeling like, you want to get into something, then try an audiobook. Because an audiobook is really another form of reading. I know, some people might have skepticisms and disagree with that. But reading in general is, really, comprehending what is going on, literally, vocabulary terms, putting yourself in, different perspectives, all of those things. And just sitting down looking at, words on a page is a form of it. And then the other form is listening to it. And then, literature. Another form of that is movies, uh, TV shows, series, and short films. So that's what I want to clarify. Now, that's one thing. The next thing that I want to talk to you about, I'm just going to tell a little anecdote of last night. So last night I was feeling very frustrated. I was feeling angry. I was feeling overwhelmed. So, and I noticed that Colette Bill and Weed, I saved a baby from the ocean. Remember that song that we did? Do 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 do. So she has meditations that she publishes, probably, once or twice a week that you can go on and, look, and all you need to do is find a comfortable space and, really, your mind is sitting down and it's focusing and it's not going in all these different directions, and you'll find that you're more collective, calm, cool, and grounded when you're done with it. And I think that that's a good way to tap into your water, to tap into that water, which, by the way, happens to be my weak or missing element. One of the things, however, that I'm going to have to debunk is I was reading The Missing Element today, and I was reading the section, how to, tap into the element of water. And I didn't really, go through it because I wasn't in the right setting to try all those exercises. And I remember reading, and I remember hearing it when I was watching the video about Saturn and Cancer, which I have Saturn and Cancer. And it read that, if you have too little water, then you become emotionally numb and you can't feel things, you can't feel, emotions, and you become, an ice king or ice queen. Now, that's true, but that will not be true. Because, that could only be true if you had the power to go back in your life, possibly either, go back and change the, the stars, which we can't do. We can't, go back, and, change the, the positions of the stars and the planet. Already I feel more grounded today. Change the stars and the planet's position, because if we could, then I would say that yes, that would be true and that would be believable. But we can't do that. We're born the way we're born, and we need to have, really look at the beauty and the compassion, for yourself and for others, because we can't change that. You can, make up things, but you can't, change what is. And if you, say, talk about the low roads of, and high roads of a particular, placement, and say, you have the low roads because it makes me feel very, very guilty that I have Saturn in Cancer, and that would say I might not feel as emotional, then that makes somebody feel very bad, and that, kind of puts a little bit of a dampener on that compassion. And it really makes it difficult. So, and I was, if you watch, Waiting for God, and if you see Jane, have you seen that show, Deborah? Waiting for God. Okay. Okay. So Jane is she has she is somebody who is the opposite. She has a lot of water in her chart. She probably has, her sun in Cancer and her moon in Pisces. I was actually looking up one time the actress who played her, and lo and behold, she was born on June 28th, and that really made sense. Cancer and Pisces are, very sensitive, the water signs. Very similar, in their emotion. But Scorpio takes on more of that fiery and more resilient. I don't think that Scorpio is, showing that kind of sensitivity. I think that it's probably sensitive in other ways. All the signs are sensitive in their own way. But, so anyway, I just think that it's kind of, vacuuming and narrow to just say this sign's more practical than another sign. Well, all the signs are practical, but in what way, in what areas, and the personality, how they're practical. Practical, is just more than just one form, you know. So, and it's also practical to have all the different signs and all of the different elements with water, air, and fire, and earth. So, I think that earth, it felt like to me that kind of overrides, the other things. And come to think of it, that does make sense because you need all four, elements, on the car. And that can be difficult because, there's only so many stars and planets and placements, and, there's not, really enough where, that would be the most possible thing. There was your Senate and everything else, but, so, yes, Earth is, kind of revolves around, kind of stands above the others because Earth, has its little, if, okay, let me draw it out so that you can see what I'm talking about here. And also, before I go on, if I didn't tell you already, it is Emily Shirley's birthday. So if you remember, we did that little music video way back in Coda February. And when we get to February, we're going to be talking about the Coda Aquarius. So there's kind of two versions of Aquarius. There's, Oprah Winfrey's version and then there's the Coda Aquarius, which is in February. Now, and if you go on my website, then you can find information about the Coda Custom. Now, I don't think that I've ever had it, that high in so long. I'll take advantage. Okay, so I'm going to now. By the way, we, we're gonna practice the songs today after I'm done. So the whole meeting, all of it, not all of it will be recorded because who wants to, sit watch video if they have, teach you songs and everything. So that's what I'm gonna do. Because I wanna, memory's precious and, use it wisely. So, Earth, you have Earth here. I'm gonna maybe move this out of the way here. Earth, and then you have, okay, let's do it chronologically. Fire, air, water. Earth is the element of practicality. This is one form of it. In earth, in fire, air, water is reflected back to earth and vice versa. Fire is one form of that practical groundedness. Air is another form of it, and water is another form of it. And you can do the same for water. You can do fire, earth, air. I think that you're seeing where I'm coming from. Let's do, I don't know. Fire, down here. Well, that would be earth, air, water. Seeing how much memory. And then we have air, reflecting fire, earth, and it's going to skip one, water. Now the elements are separate, but they are also intertwined, and so are the zodiac signs. They're all emotional, sensitive, well, let's just say emotional. Emotional, well, sensitive too, because everybody's human. Water is the element of, the surrendering and, the human pain and compassion. So, Pisces, astrology, and Aquarius, astrology, and Scorpio as well. But all the signs. So, all the signs are emotional, sensitive, in the wrong way. All the signs are intellectual, in the wrong way. Energetic, passionate, really, it had that spark of fire in the wrong way, practical, grounded, in the wrong way. So I think that really clarifies. So, do you agree with this? Exactly. And there's no competition saying, oh, one is more practical than the other. And even so, even if they're based on their elements, because all this, everything is, equal and balanced labor. So I'm going to get rid of this now. Okay. Because there's a little bit of a, and it's getting into the time where we can start listening to Susan Boyle, whose birthday is not at the time of year that I would listen to her music, April 1st, which is very close to mine. I think that's, kind of a slightly difficult day to be born, only because, you might get tricked on that day. Because it's April Fool's, it's the first day of April, so luckily I was born 5 days after the 4th. So, that is that. I just wanted to clear that out of the way here first of all. The second, sometime during the Scorpio season, try the art of meditation. You'll kind of do like the scientific steps, your questions and your predictions, research possibly, I don't know about that, hypothesis, doing it, and then what are your results from doing it. So say, does meditation actually make you feel more calm and grounded? Try doing it and, do the results on that. So, now I want to talk about that short film from Omeletto kind of thing. The actress thing, all of you should have got that down already. So, wonderful. So, we're not going to be reading it out loud now because we want to get to the songs. How about we get to the songs, because I want to clear that out of the way. And the audiobook, as they all, we made the audiobook so that you could listen to it. So when we're here, we're not going to be reading through that book. And we only have 3 days left of it. So it's going to be over before you know it. So I'm going to place audiobooks or to listen, another time. So, now, I'm going to have, let's do that. I'm contradictory, but before we do, I understand that Deborah has a couple of things that she would like to talk about, and then we're going to get right into it. Also, I am composing another song real quick, and I may print the lyrics out and stick it up here, and I should have done that yesterday of last month. So yesterday of last month would have been September 26th, because that's really the title of the song. And it has to do with, so it begins by saying, when the plane comes in, it'll be too late, and this and that. And, things come to me very, very randomly. I just think very, very random things, and I like to tie them together, in the wrong way. So I might be, thinking random things. So, anyway, you can begin, and then we're gonna get started with getting into Phantom Love. I want to get into that today. Tomorrow we're going to do just Peachy.